Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Christine, and I'm here to pull the energies for right now. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your week didn't beat you up too much, and I hope you're entering your weekend on a solid note. Today was nice. It was a nice day out. I could have used some more birds, you know? Alright, so let's get right into it. Guess I'm doing one more. I'm also waiting on pasta water to boil, and I'm just gonna do that real quick in the middle. Alright, so I'm gonna do things a little different today. I'm going to do the Celtic Cross, and I'm pulling out my book here because there's so many different interpretations on the Celtic Cross and the way, like, which order they go, that I actually like this Celtic Cross in this book. They place the cards down the way I like it, like an actual cross, not the circle around and then up. They lay the cards down the way I like, and then when I get to number 7, 8, 9, 10, I kind of forget what they mean. So I'm going to use this as a guide. Here. So let's get started. Current situation is the Emperor. The opposing energy is the Knight of Wands. I'm going to stop right there. The current energy is the Emperor, and what's crossing it, or what's the challenge, or the obstacle, or whatever, is the Knight of Wands. So far, I'm sensing you're getting a hard time kicking something into gear, or getting something into gear. It's like, it's really cool to be the Emperor, but this emperor, this Emperor in this reading so far wants to do, but like I said, I feel like he's just having a hard time trying to do, or get the momentum, or the courage, I don't know. So, what lies beneath, which is unconscious forces, yeah. So what's below subconscious, is it? Yeah. So the subconscious, what's going on in the subconscious? Temperance in reverse. No sense of balance. Okay, I can understand that. If you're not really like sturdy, or your foundation's not intact, whatever you build upon that is going to be really rocky, and it's going to eventually fall down. And in this case, it feels like a security, or maybe there's a sense of insecurity, which is weird for the Emperor. He's pretty secure in what he does, but I think he's stepping into a realm that's unknown to him. Whatever this is that I feel like I'm picking up on, I feel like it's something new the Emperor's trying, and he's not so confident. So much so that subconsciously he is imbalanced. Then what is above, which is the consciousness, is the Lovers. Wow. I had said the Emperor looks like they're going to be moving. They want to move towards something. They want to get something started. Whatever this is, subconsciously, it's a very imbalanced situation. But consciously, it's the Lovers. And just, there is definitely some sort of insecurity. Now it looks like it's revolving around a partnership or a choice with someone. I want to eat. Okay, so you guys interrupt me in the middle of my lunch. Actually, no. I chose to jump on because I was literally eating my crackers and cheese. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I want to read. So I have this little dude just sitting here. Let me just... Sorry. I'm eating mozzarella balls and crackers. So good. So I'm just gonna follow it up with this, and then I promise I'm not gonna eat anymore. This card is about what's in the past, or what has come to pass. I don't know how far back in the past, but I'm gonna say recent past. But let's see. King of Wands. In reverse. Oh, the Temperance here was in reverse too. King of Wands in reverse in the recent past. Let me see what's in the future. What is before you? Potential events. The Star in reverse. Some of you guys really need to get it together with whatever endeavor you're trying to kick off, because if you don't, you're just going to be setting yourself up for even more insecurity and losing faith within yourself in the future. But I have to admit, you guys came a long way from going the King of Wands in reverse in the recent past to the Emperor right now. That is a good upgrade. That is a certainty, and it's a sureness. It's a direction. It's a title. But with that manifestation, the opposing the Knight of Wands, I don't know. Maybe it's like an uncontrollable fire that's within you, and you need to tame it because there's this imbalance, and this fire can turn into a wildfire and, ignite things that you didn't really want to ignite, or attract things that you didn't really want. But it looks like you have your eye on something with this Lovers in your conscious level. I'm sorry, I haven't held up any of the cards. So this is where you're at right now. The Emperor. Opposing force. Knight of Wands. Subconscious. Temperance reverse. Conscious. The Lovers. Recent past. King of Wands reverse. And then near future. The Star in reverse. So let's go into the 4 that I always get them mixed up. This card represents your feelings about the situation, or what's in your heart. That's literally what it says in the book. So this here is your feelings towards the situation. And I feel like the situation is this Lovers card. It's not necessarily a lover. It could just be with someone who you connect with, or who you see as like your other half. That can be romantically, or just partner, or like a marriage, business partner. So your feelings on the situation is Four of Swords. So this is a cosmic rest. This is a deep pause where you just release all control and allow divine guidance and energy and force and life to come into you, because you're pretty much spent on whatever this is that the Emperor is trying to work with. I think you're really letting go here. Your feelings are kind of like just letting it all go. Other people's feelings, how others' feelings influence the situation. This card is other people's feelings. And it's cool that we're talking about other people's, because there is a sense of another person involved in this Emperor's desire to create. Let's see what this other person's feelings are. Two of Wands in reverse. I'm sensing both of you and the other person, are almost somewhat in the same boat. Unable to, this other person is unable to prioritize, unable to get things started either. Having a hard time trying to pinpoint exactly what they want, where to go, this and that. So it looks like you guys are pretty much on the same wavelength here. And then your hopes and fears. Now this card is about hopes or fears. So based off of everything I see here, I will determine if this is a hope or is this a fear. It's a fear. Death in reverse. Why is it a fear? It's a transformation. And I think, like I said, down to like the very root of it, with this subconscious temperance in reverse, you don't have a steady foundation to really build from. So you're kind of like coming at a situation with like all these balls in your hand and you can't hold them. So it's just spilling, all this stuff is just spilling around and you're kind of making a mess of the situation. And I think that's why it's like, if you don't get yourself together in the future, you're just going to set yourself up for even more insecurity within yourself. And then you'll start doubting yourself. You don't have faith in yourself or in the situation or in anything. And it's just kind of hard when you're in that space, because you can easily, get depressed or depressed. So there's a transformation happening. I don't know what kind of transformation, but let's see. The last card is the potential outcome, which is a likely outcome of the situation based off of this reading. And that is, my friend, Queen of Cups. Wow. Queen of Cups. A very feminine approach to handling your emotions. It's not necessarily wearing your heart on the sleeve, but it's not getting carried away when you get emotional and letting your emotions run your actions, even though they do subconsciously all the time. Hold on one second. No, I think she's good. My daughter's sleeping, and I thought I heard her. Well, I did hear her make some noise. I thought she woke up just now. Oh, excuse me, my water is boiling. So the potential outcome is the Queen of Cups. And I feel that if you allow the transformation to happen, because right now that's a fear thing, that things are going to transform, and when things transform, things are changing, and your routine's getting disrupted, your life is getting disrupted. Like there's just this, upheaval of things that so you can mold into who you're supposed to be, which I think is this Queen of Cups. And then I feel also that you're you're like evolving a lot. You went from the King of Wands in reverse to the Emperor, and then possibly gonna be the Queen of Cups. But before you can even get to that Queen of Cups, you really have to. I don't know what this connection is here with the Lovers, and whatever you're trying to kick a start, but you really need to go inward, which I feel you are. You're kind of like relinquishing all control of the situation. But I also feel too, if you don't do anything, then nothing's gonna happen, and then you're gonna stay in this fear base because whatever. And I heard somewhere that as soon as you make a decision, shit. I'm so mad. But as soon as you make a decision on what you want to do about the situation and what you want to, how you want to handle it, or what you want to do within yourself, because I feel like you're not with the with the Four of Swords here. You're just kind of like there. Nothing's gonna change. One, and you're gonna be in constant, not misery, but like this constant state of uncertainty. I don't know, because you don't know what's going on. Like you are afraid of what could happen, so nothing's gonna happen, and then it's just this whole stagnation thing, and it's gonna like bum you out a little bit subconsciously. It's gonna bum you out. I mean, something is already with the Temperance here in reverse, but that's your subconsciousness. So you really need to get it together and allow, if you're really going to let go, then make a decision on something, then let go. And then let things just kind of like go, but with, and be like all in, full in on whatever you choose. Because this is a choice here. Either you're going to go it alone or you're going to go it with someone else. I also got a message before I got out that this Queen of Cups, since we have a masculine card here, the Emperor to start with, and then the possible outcome is a feminine, it could be two things. It could be you going through a transformation, and that's what you're going to be if you allow the transformation to happen and fully commit, and then you'll realize that you'll be able to just be more emotionally secure. The other thing is that this other person could come out the Queen of Cups. I don't feel like that's right, but I felt like saying it. Like, I don't feel like that makes sense all too much. But we do have two people here, a masculine and feminine, and we started off with a masculine and we're ending with a feminine. So I was just, And I did say both of you are in kind of like the same boat, because your obstacle is the Knight of Wands, and their feelings are the Two of Wands in reverse. It's almost the same vibe. The Knight of Wands is more action oriented, and the Two of Wands is more brainstorming and planning before taking action, before letting everybody see what you really want to do, like putting it out there in the universe. 1 second. Like somebody's ready to go, but doesn't know how, and the other person just doesn't even know where to start. with what they want to even go with. So you guys are in the same boat. So I think both of you are most likely hitting a transformational period, or you're in the middle of the transformation, and I don't know who's fighting it, but somebody's fighting it, or you're both fighting it. But only one of you is going to come out on the other end more secure emotionally, with that Queen of Cups as the possible outcome. But that's possible because the near future, don't forget, we have the star in reverse. So, you know, your faith will be tested when it comes to yourself and what you put out there. And you're still trying to figure that out. You don't even know where to go. Just don't start fires, you know. Be direct in where you want to put your energy, because the Knight of Wands, man, he will light shit on fire. Somebody called him the fire pony, and he is. He gets what he wants. And this and that, maybe. And since it's the challenge card, it's the obstacle, it's that force that's kind of holding the Emperor back, and with the instability of the Temperance in reverse, I think it's unknown territory for the Emperor, even though the Emperor just is all-knowing and he puts order into everything. But I think in this realm, even though the only cups we have literally is right at the end after the transformation, there's no cups in the field, but I feel this is an emotional situation, and I think that's why there's a lot of wands, and we do have one cup here in the Temperance's hand, but the Temperance is making something out of water, is mixing to create, and that's also in reverse. So there's a hint of emotions, and then with the Lovers, that's a little bit of an emotional thing too. So I just think this is a realm for Mr. Emperor that is a little bit on shaky grounds. So let me see what the overall energy is. There is self-negative talk happening, and it could be the Emperor doing that, because we got the Eight of Swords in reverse here. So there's a lot of negative talk happening, and I feel that's why everything just seems to be like, you have the right cards, you got everything in place, but the inner dialogue, that's why this subconscious thing here, the Temperance in reverse, makes more sense now. It's like, okay, it's imbalanced because there's nothing but mental imprisonment of yourself that you're doing to yourself. So it's like, if you continue this path, yes, you will get to a point where you will lose faith in yourself, because the talk's going to be drowning all sense of clarity and all sense of guidance and all sense of light. It's just going to drown it out. It's going to burn out the star and turn into a meteor and hit your soul. So I'm going to pull an oracle. Just don't know which one right now. Don't forget this Sunday, is new moon in Aries. It's a great time for you to take action into what it is you want. I kind of want a card to pop out, so I'm just going to cut it for now, and then I'm going to do my little action here. I want a card to pop out. Let me get some guidance for the listener regarding this read. Let me get some guidance, please. Oh, we got two. A win-win outcome is forecast. That's cool, because we did have like two people within somewhat the same boat. I don't know why I felt like a conversation needs to be had. That's all I got. But full moon in Libra, a win-win situation is forecast. Win-win. Win-wins are good, you know, everybody leaves happy. And then we have you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. So we got two full moons. Very powerful situation. You are good enough. Yes. Because this here, the overall energy, is probably telling you that, what are you doing? No, you're not good enough. No, you're not going to be able to do this X, Y, and Z. No, this in person is looking at you. They think you're dumb, or, you know, just like really insecure thoughts, man. You are good enough. You're good enough for the life that you want. You are good enough to be happy. You're good enough to get everything you want in life. Like, you are good enough to get that job. You're good enough to get that girl or guy or relationship. Or you're good enough to get that house, that lifestyle. You're good enough. You're good enough. You're good enough. Enough. You're good. You're good enough. A win-win outcome is forecast. Let's read, because I like that. And I think that's why I said maybe there's a conversation that needs to be had, because for a win-win to happen, like, there has to be some sort of communication, or like cross wires or something. Like, there has to be something for that to happen. Unless there's like an event that happens and it's like poker. It's like, whoosh, there's all the cards and oh, win-win. I don't know if I made sense when I said that, but I hope some of you got that reference. The full moon in Libra, the sign of partnership, of falling in love and of closely relating to someone else. Since full moons are about climaxes and conclusions, this card suggests you're either about to start a new relationship or that an important existing relationship is changing somehow, perhaps coming to an end or moving to a new level of commitment. It's important to remember that people come to us for a reason, and sometimes just for a season. If a relationship is ending now, it's doing so at the right time, so try to not fight it. This card can also refer to a professional relationship. There is a sense that you need to balance your ego with someone else's needs. A win-win outcome is possible with give and take. Doing so might be the answer to your question. Ego. The Emperor has a lot of that. He is Aries, right? The Emperor is Aries. Yeah, their ego is like, it's like right there. It's like about to show off. show up. But that's the energy behind Aries, I feel, is that kind of, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I just, yeah. Now what was I saying? Maybe some of you are trying to start a new relationship, but I feel like it's something that's already there. That's why the transformation card here with the death card is in reverse, because it's like an unwilling to transform. So I think it might be coming to an end somewhere. But I don't know, at the same time, if it is coming to an end, it doesn't look too good. So I don't see it being a win-win if it's coming to an end. I mean, it might be what somebody wants, but not what somebody else wants. In this like dynamic duo here that I'm sensing. So win-win, I don't know how that looks like for these people. I think conversation is gonna have to happen, so there could be a sense of clarity. The near future it's kind of weary though, because if like a win-win is possible, then why do we have the star in reverse in the near future? Maybe it is ending. I don't know. Or maybe it's a win-win and you won't see that win-win till later on. It's almost like a blessing in disguise. It's like at the time of the decision or the time of the situation, it's like that's why, okay, this is going back to when I thought this is probably the other person. It's going to come out the Queen of Cups. Only because I lost my train of thought. Fuck. Shit. I lost it. Yeah, blessing in disguise. Because at the time of the situation, one of you won't. That's why I'm like, somebody might be okay with it and the other person might not. But then later on in life, it actually gets revealed that it really was a win-win. It's just somebody's ego, like it said here, was in the way, and it didn't see that, this is actually a really good thing. So they won't realize it till like later on in life, like, oh shit, this was actually a good thing. And so this star reverse now feels a little right for near future, because somebody's gonna lose their faith. Somebody's gonna lose their faith in themselves and everything, because it's not what they wanted. You gotta figure out what you really want, not just what you want. No, what is it that you truly desire? When it comes to this other person, they're going through their own thing too, with this Two of Wands in reverse. Like, they're going through their own shit too. They're trying to plan, they're trying to move forward. You're ready to go, but things are not balanced. Like, there's no security. It's like your root chakra's not intact. It's a little closed, not even closed, it's just a little blocked. The energy's not flowing freely through there, along with your sacral and solar plex. And all that lower chakras are just a little imbalanced. And then you're trying to make something happen within a partner. It just doesn't. It's like a recipe for things not to work out. And it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't. This transformation, that's a fear of transforming. Maybe a fear of things not going as how you wanted it to go. Going back to, I don't know, man. Maybe something isn't going to work out. But just know that you are good enough, okay? Maybe things didn't work out now, but you are good enough for whatever it is that you're trying to do. Maybe not this time around. Maybe with another situation or person. I don't know. But by doing nothing, nothing will happen. And I feel like the fear is what's making you not want to do anything. but it's just gonna prolong the issue and make it bigger than it seems, because FYI, the overall energy is that mental prison, that negative self-talk. Okay, let's read You Are Good Enough, because it feels like it's like a good vibe here. A win-win situation is forecast, is a good vibe too, but I feel it's further into the future. Like I said, I feel like you won't see it until later on. You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. No. Okay. It's time to be really honest with yourself and understand what's led you to ask your question. Have you been humble to the point of being self-effacing? Humility is good, but it can go too far. And drawing this card suggests you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be flash, just quietly certain that you are good enough. At the other end of the scale, you also need to honestly answer this question. Have you been too picky? The full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Your next step should then be more obvious to you. Pay attention to the details. Hard work brings results. And right now, you're not willing to do the hard work because there's fear and there's self-talk. Give me a second because I forgot I had pasta on the stove. Hold on. Thank you. Alright. I think I'm going to read this again because I'm rereading it and I'm noticing some things. It's time to be really honest with yourself and understand what's led you to ask your question. Have you been humble to the point of being self-effacing? Humility is good, but it can go too far. And drawing this card suggests you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be flash, just quietly certain that you are good enough. At the other end of the scale, you also need to honestly answer this question. Have you been too picky? The full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Your next step should then be more obvious to you. Pay attention to the details. Hard work brings results. And then it says, additional meanings for this card. Worrying too much will attract more things to worry about. So instead of worrying about how this situation is going to pan out, you're actually making it worse for yourself. That self-talk is no joke, okay? And it leads to this shit and this shit. Let's get one more. I feel like one more. We got 2 full moons. Let's break this. Or add another full moon. Watch it be the super moon. It's not, but watch it be the super moon. No, but it is the south node. Don't let your past hold you back. Don't let your past hold you back. South node. Now, when it comes to nodes, I know one of the nodes, like north or south, I don't know, north node, south node, I don't know which one. I know one of them, it depicts your destiny. But I don't know how to, like, understand it fully because it's a sign, like it's a zodiac sign in that node. I don't know how to go about it. Like, my destiny is Sagittarius. I don't understand. I will eventually, but right now I don't. So let's read this one. This is exciting. We got 2 full moons and a south node. Powerful stuff, my friend. And I think in this book, it explains a little bit of the South Node. So I think I'm going to do that first before I read the card. My water. Hold on, I gotta drain the water. Sorry. Alright, South Node. Let's read about the South Node first. So, the South Node is where the moon crosses the ecliptic going south. On the horoscope chart, it shows us what we are likely to become obsessed with, but which will probably do us little or no good. The South Node is the karmic astrological point that reminds us of the well-known phrase, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. That's that same definition of madness. If you keep doing the same thing and expecting something different, that's madness. Interesting. I'm gonna have to do a little more research on the South Node, but that's good enough for me right now, right? For you too. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Heard that. Alright, so don't let your past hold you back. And now that makes sense. Don't let your past hold you back with that phrase. I was just talking about this to myself today. About I was thinking about my first boyfriend and how much happened between us that I feel it tainted the rest of my relationships. So if you're watching, Danny, thanks. But luckily for me, I've come a long way. A few boyfriends since him. Not a few, just a few, a handful of boyfriends since him. And, they all taught me something. The most recent taught me the most. But I was thinking at the time about Danny. Sorry if I'm dropping names, but there's so many Dannys in the world. Anyway, I was just thinking about, how I really did mess up the rest of my relationships because I just was kind of left that relationship very insecure, and I just brought that baggage to the next and the next and the next. So in a way, my past was holding me back from becoming my truest self. And it's so crazy how, I don't know how long ago we were together. It was a long time ago. It's 20 years ago, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. And I'm just a totally different person now. And I'm more aware and cautious about my next relations, if it does come or not. I don't care at this point because I have my daughter and she has all of my attention and all my love. Even though secretly I'm I want to be in a relationship, but I don't really want to be because that's a lot of energy. And now that I'm more aware of my energy, it's do I really want to share it? I think it's a part of being aware of yourself when you fall into that. But a girl's got needs, so it's kind of complicated, me being single and aware. Anyway, don't let your past hold you back. The South Node, like the North Node, is a karmic point, but it is opposite to the North Node and relates to the past, perhaps even to past lives. Whatever you've gone through and whatever you're asking about, there's a chance that age-old programming and conditioning is stopping you from achieving all that you might. Do you feel stuck in something? This card will often come as a sign that the situation or relationship you're asking about has somehow become suffocating, even toxic. It's suggested that someone, you even, needs to be released, that there's some kind of addiction going on or an unhealthy attachment that needs to be sorted out, like codependency. One thing is for sure, when you get this card, you're being challenged to make some changes, even if staying where you are feels easier and safer. It's time to make some changes. This is the obstacle. It's time to make some changes, but where you're at is easier and safer. I love it. I love it when they like match up. This reading is really unfolding into something very beautiful, because whoever this is relating to, if this is resonating with you, going back to this, you are good enough, okay? One, you're good enough for whatever it is that you're asking about, for whatever it is that you're trying to do and are afraid to do it, because of the change it will bring about your life. Because right now your life is like this. It's like comfort blanket to the max. I mean, you're literally a sloth. But change needs to happen. Change needs to happen at this point. Because there's two people going around in circles. So this relationship is toxic because there's nothing coming out of it, even though there's like a connection there somehow, some way. There's a connection there. But it needs to break away and bloom into what it needs to bloom into. I said break away so it can bloom, or come together so it can bloom. I don't know. But something needs to happen. Action needs to be taken. And this is the opposing force. This is the obstacle for you, the Emperor, who's all about, tradition and structure and order and rules. And I was saying that this is like a realm he's not familiar with. Maybe you need to come out of that very traditional way of looking at things and think out the box and think differently and see things in a different perspective for shit to like change. Because the way you're doing things, Mr. Emperor, is suffocating the life out of what you want. So, it all comes back down to you, Emperor, and your inner self, this temperance in reverse. You need to figure out why you're imbalanced. And that's where, actually this card, You Are Good Enough, kind of comes in with what it was saying about, needed to check your ego. Maybe your ego is not allowing you to get past this hurdle of transformation, because the ego likes to protect you, the person watching. My ego loves to protect me too. It likes to keep you here because this is safe and non-changing, but that's just stagnation. Now your past, King of Wands in reverse, it's like you don't want to be the King of Wands while you're you don't want this King of Wands in reverse energy to be your Knight of Wands. Because right now, the Knight of Wands, this fire that you have in you, is really, really wanting to come out and do what it needs to do. Burn up the scene, like the Knight of Wands. Very ambitious and straightforward and strong. I mean, you have Aries. The Emperor is Aries. And then you have, I don't know what the Knight of Wands is, but it's any of one of the fire signs. Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. We are in Aries season. It's a Aries full moon on Sunday. I mean, a lot can happen over the weekend. if you really want it to happen. And when I say happen, change. If you really want the change, then it can happen. But if you're not, and you're a little timid and unsure and all this internal dialogue that's holding you back, then it's not going to go anywhere. And then this, I don't know who this is and what this is, but the Queen of Wands is the result. And I'm sorry, but this is a really good place to be. Because once you're emotionally secure, you can do anything. I feel like you can really dive into any realms after that. Because you're emotional. I feel like these two cards, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Cups wouldn't be in this mental prison. She's not that kind of queen. She knows herself enough. That's it. Knows herself enough. And I don't think you, Emperor, sir, or ma'am, with a very masculine approach, knows yourself that much. Or knows yourself when it comes to getting into these waters, even though there's no water, besides the Temperance here. And that's internal. I don't think the Emperor, or this masculine energy, this strong, direct masculine energy, knows what to do when it comes to a union. A really good union that could help him transform and all this other shit. I don't know where this Queen of Cups falls into place. You know what? Now that I said that, I'm going to pull a clarifier for the Queen of Wands. For the Queen of Cups, or the Queen of Cups. I'm going to pull a clarifier for the Queen of Cups. Okay? Cups. Cups. Oh, yeah. Hold on a sec. The deck I wanted to use was further away than I thought. Alright, so we're going to pull a clarifier for this Queen of Cups because I didn't know. It's the possible outcome, so I don't know. Like, what's really, I know who she is, but what does it really regard, what is it regarding this reading? What is it? Excuse me. All those damn cheese balls. At least it's coming up and not down. Let's get a clarifier for the Queen of Cups. Every time I have my cards in a thing, they get extra sticky. You know, I haven't used any powder to separate my cards because I made a deck, and I know I talk about it like I haven't mentioned this before, but I made my own deck using acrylic paint, and well, they've gotten way better. Excuse me. I forgot what I was talking about, so yeah, clarifying the Queen of Cups. I'm not gonna take it because I literally was like, I'm gonna cut and then do this. So I said that flipped over as soon as I said that, so, or I thought that. So I'm just gonna let that go back in. But if you must know, it was the Five of Pentacles in reverse. What is the clarifier for the Queen of Cups? Page of Cups in reverse. I need another one. Well, you're definitely not a little boy anymore. Or a naive, not a naive, an immature approach to your emotions, that's for sure. Because it was the page and now you're the queen. But let me get more. Oh, so maybe it is the emperor, because that's the kind of energy I feel the emperor will probably exude if he begins to talk about his emotions. Very immature. But it's, yeah. Not coming off the right way, all sorts of wrong. Okay, and then we have the 10 of Swords in reverse. Let me get one more. Queen of Cups. Oh, High Priestess. Okay, so the 3 clarifiers we got for the Queen of Cups is the Page of Cups in reverse, 10 of Swords in reverse, and the High Priestess. So you definitely, I think this is not the other person. I feel like this is you. This is like your level up in a area that you were not secure in, and by facing your fears, that's exactly what will happen. I mean, it's like, yeah, once you face those fears, man, intuitively speaking, you will come out Queen of Cups. Knowing her, trusting herself, because we have the High Priestess here, you're going to basically trust yourself, you're going to believe in yourself, all this stuff, but we have the Star in our near future in reverse. So there's definitely some sort of test that's going to come up to ensure that you are meant to hold this new title of Queen of Cups, and it has something to do with what you're trying to start up with this Knight of Wands. But this position here and this here and the overall energy isn't gonna let you do that if you keep it up in this in this realm of doing things, and in this letting your past hold you back and doing the same thing and expecting something different. It's crazy. Okay, so that is all I have. I want one more, and then I'm gonna let y'all go because I'm enjoying this right now. I thought of it for a quick second. I want to pull one Halloween oracle, just one, because it's always Halloween in my world, and I know my cousin can attest to that. That's like a high five, imaginary high five, girl. Haley, my girl, I love you. I don't even know if she watches my shit, but if she does and she catches this video, hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Okay, let's pick a card for the reading. Like another additional message from the Halloween Oracle from the thinnest veil possible. What do we got? What do we got for us? What do we got for us? It's this one. Ooh, it's a dawn card. A new dawn awaits. Whoosh. Dawn. That's basically like the 10 of Swords. Not really, but yes. The light after the darkness. Dawn. Whoosh. Yeah, boy. Dawn, bro. Spread your wings and soar. Whilst midnight is often thought, take a good look at an owl. Dawn. Whilst midnight is often thought of as a magical hour, throughout time, dawn has also had its share of the mystical. All manner of magical beings had to return to their true forms by dawn. Werewolves, for example, and vampires could only be active whilst the rays of the sun did not pierce the sky. Dawn and deities of dawn herald both hope and new life. Goddesses such as Estre and gods like Helios and Apollo were those who brought new life and the dawn's light to the world. The journey from the darkest night of the soul to a bright and hopeful dawn is one of the deepest and most powerful heroes' path repeated over and over in mythology. Should you receive the dawn card, you are being reminded that there is always a fresh start and a new beginning to be had. Change is unstoppable, and even the most difficult times will pass. No matter how devastating they may seem, hope is one of the most powerful motivating forces in the universe, and it's being indicated here. Yes. So the clarifier here with the Ten of Swords, it's in reverse. So it speaks of like that time of trouble and just mental anguish is done. And then you come out, High Priestess, Page of... Seeing the page there, Page of... It's like you're no longer in that... Some of you really need to do the work. Get over your fear, let the transformation happen, go with the flow, and you will come off so much more better than you could ever imagine. And you can't even imagine better because you're here right now. 8 of Swords. There is no better. There's just whatever you're talking yourself into, which is most likely knee deep in shit. There's a new dawn with this new dawn here. This death in reverse, who wants to be death upright, which is always a good card for me. I love death. It's a Scorpio card. I'm a Scorpio, but it also speaks of transformation, and I'm all about transforming. Scorpios are literally phoenixes rising from the ashes over and over and over and over again. So are other signs, but we live in the ashes. We're always... It's anyway, and then I was holding all this up to say like all these new dawn things, and then a win-win forecast. Like all this stuff speaks of greatness, of a new beginning, and this is also a choice. This is the conscious card. This is what's happening on the surface. The Lovers. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna go with... I don't know who's watching. If you're a male, are you going to go with the female? If you're a female, are you going to go with the male and start a new life? Or are you going to continue on your life solo? Nothing wrong with being solo. And this isn't like, are you going to be together? Or are you going to be single for the rest of your life and die alone? No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just right now, during this read, during this energy pool, the question is, do you want to continue on alone for a bit? Or do you want to merge your energy with someone else? And for the rare ones out there, do you want to continue on this mindset, your own mindset, or do you want to merge it with... No, that's the same thing. I was thinking of like, do you want to stay, it's like masculine, feminine. Do you want to stay on the masculine, because we had the Emperor here. Do you want to keep being masculine and expect something different, or do you want to embrace the feminine side of you? So it goes either way. You can be talking about another side of yourself, the other side of yourself, or another person. So, however that resonates with you. Okay, I'm officially done. But that was a really good read. Okay, there's a lot of hope here. Just don't lose sight of what you want is the key. because, like I said, this star in reverse is in your near future. So I don't know if I should say try to avoid, but this star in reverse, actually losing sight, losing hope, and all that might actually trigger the transformation. And then you come out on the other side, Queen of Cups, more secure and stable than you could ever imagine emotionally. You can't imagine that now because I can preach on and on about this Eight of Swords, but that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I know I'm like super serious, but I'm just really chill right now. And it was a really good read. I haven't had a read like that in a while, so that was nice. But yeah. Good luck on your transformation. Embrace it. Don't be afraid. Okay, you are good enough for anything that's coming. There's a win-win forecast out there. It's a win-win. I don't know what you gotta do to make that win-win, but I know what you can't be doing is sitting on your ass expecting shit to change. No. You have to make the effort. Oh, are you guys gonna hate me if I pull out like one more deck? Probably, but whatever. Because when I said what I just said, I literally thought of these cards, and I was like, oh, okay. Let's pull out some Romance Angels cards. Let's just see what the Romance Angels have to say. This isn't a love reading, but, whatever. Let's just see. Let's just wrap it up with a little love, shall we? You can take these cards as like a confirmation to what you want, or you can take it as a little like reminder, or you can take it as a little like ego boost. I don't know. The Romance Angels cards. I'm like, do they want to talk? I wish I can rewind right now to see what I said, because I'm like, I know I said something that led me to this, and this is what I said. I had said, you're either going to sit on your ass and do nothing, and you're going to expect nothing. Some of you have to make the effort. I believe that's what I said. Go back, rewind to where not right before, but like what I was saying before I pulled this deck out. I said make the effort, because look what we got. Make the motherfucking effort. That's great. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Okay? Some of y'all probably been getting those signs and synchronicities and all this other shit telling you to do whatever it is you need to do. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Whether it's to pursue or to go a different path or whatever. It's definitely a movement. Make the effort, bro. That's exactly what I was thinking when I wanted to pull this deck. I love it. Okay. That's all. That's all I got. That's all we got. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I'm officially like happy now. I was all like serious and monotone. Now I'm all like, yeah. Okay. Get out of your head. I love you. You're good enough. Do what you gotta do. Aries new moon this Sunday. So set your intentions. Bury them, burn them, or water them up until they dissolve. Do whatever you gotta do to put it out there in the universe. What it is that you want. Look up what Aries is all about and embrace that energy, because they are intense. They are the best fucking sign. The best. I love them. Aries and Pisces is just so funny that I like the first zodiac sign and I like the last zodiac sign. It's like, okay. That's all I got. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye.